Once upon a time, in a palace, there lived a king named Krishna Singh. He had a son, Prince Rao.
Father, you always take me to see the village. You showed me the hills too, but you never let me go to that distant dense forest. What is there, father? Son, never speak of the forest again. No one goes into the forest in our kingdom, neither from the palace nor from the villages. But why, father? Because it is a strange forest. Whoever goes there never returns. People say lawns fly there, waterfalls flow upward, and demons dwell there. What, father? I am still a child, and you believe in those false children's tales? Wait and see. One day I will go to that forest and I will return.
The king did not pay much attention to his son's words because he thought his son was still young. He would understand when he grew up how dangerous that strange forest could be.
Very well, son. Do as you like. What? Now let us go eat. Your mother must be waiting for us.
Time passed like this even after growing up. Prince Ram never forget about the strange forest. Only one thought lived in his mind.
One day I will surely go there and see what is really there. I have heard so much that I cannot rest without seeing it.
While Prince Ram was standing in his chamber talking to himself, he heard a girl's voice behind him. No one has ever returned alive from there. Leave aside alive. Not even a dead body was found. Prince Rao turned around and saw a girl wearing simple clothes and standing before him.
Who are you? You don't look like someone from the palace.
Mm, Forgive me. I am Riddhi, the daughter of the maid Vimala. I came to invite you to eat. The king is waiting for you.
Oh, fine. By the way, what do you know about that forest? I am very interested. If you tell me anything, I will be glad. You might get a good reward.
Yes, I can tell you a lot. My mother used to tell me many stories about that forest. She never lets me to go there. Actually, my childhood dream has been to go there once and see, but my mother.
What? Really? I also wanted to go there since childhood, but my father never lets me. Our stories are exactly the same.
That's amazing. Why don't we go together and see what's in that strange forest? Hearing this, Prince Rao became quiet and Riddhi also fell silent. After thinking a moment, she said, Forgive me, I forget you are the prince. If you agree, then we can go together.
Hmm, I like your idea. We should go together and see what we must do it without anyone knowing. If my father finds out I plan to go to that strange forest, he will never let us go.
Then fine, meet me tonight outside the palace. We will go from there, no one will know. With that, Riddhi left and Prince Rao went to dine with his father. Both had no idea that they were not going to the forest. The strange forest itself was calling them. Night.
I have been here for half an hour, but Riddhi has not come yet. If someone sees me, hear it, will be a big problem. How could she be so careless? I am a prince. I am a prince. She can't keep me waiting.
Just then Riddhi arrived, covering her face with cloth. I am here, Prince. Let's go. As Prince Rab was about to leave with Riddhi, someone suddenly put a hand on his shoulder.
Who is it? Who is it?
When he turned, his younger sister, Princess Indu, stood behind them. Brother, it seems you are leaving someplace without telling father. I heard you talking to each other earlier today.
What?
Prince Rao and Riddhi were startled to hear this. I will come with you. I also want to see what is in that strange forest.
No, it could be very dangerous. I will not take you.
It could be dangerous for you too, brother. And if I tell father, neither of you will be able to go. So decide, will you take me or will we go back to the palace? What? No, 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 no. Don't do that. We must go. Today is our chance. Now, Prince Rag had no other choice, so he gave in.
All right, then. You can come with us. But be careful.
Hearing this, Princess Indu was happy, and the three of them set out toward the strange forest. The night grew dark, but they walked on without fear. After some distance, they reached the forest edge.
Listen carefully. The forest starts in a little file. We must be alert. If anything dangerous happens, we will turn back. We only need to go to a point where no life is danger.
Okay, Prince, let's go. Okay, brother. They entered the forest quickly but carefully. So far, they had seen nothing unusual. This looks like any ordinary forest. Why are people afraid? Surely those stories are false. We should not take this forest lightly. People say it's enchased. Perhaps its ordinary appearance hides magic.
Yes, well said, Riddhi. Indu, don't show overconfidence. It will cause trouble.
The three advanced swiftly but cautious when they suddenly heard the sound of water flowing.
It seems there is a waterfall nearby. Let's go that way.
After walking a little, they found a waterfall, and besides, it is a very huge tree shining like gold. Its glow lit up the darkness,
What a shining tree.
and it's so enormous it looks as if it's made of gold. Indu, without thinking, stepped forward and touched the tree. The moment she touched it, she became a statue of gold. Prince Rab was shocked.
What happened? Indu? Indu?
Stop, Prince. Don't touch Indu or you too will turn into a statue.
But how can we fix this? We must return before morning.
As Riddhi and Prince Rab were pondering, the tree suddenly spoke.
Welcome to our strange forest, praise Prince Rao and Riddhi. Thank you for bringing them here.
Hearing the tree speak, Prince Rab was astonished and immediately understood.
What? So this was a trap to bring me here. You cannot be the daughter of a mad.
When Prince Rab asked Riddhi this, she smiled and replied, Me? Yes, Prince Rao, you are right. I am not a maid's daughter, but the daughter of its strange forest. This forest is my home. I was assigned to bring you there, which I did well. Prince Rav was stunned by Riddhi's words.
Don't be so surprised, Prince. One day you were bound to come here. Riddhi, take them further. Everyone awaits Prince Rao.
After the tree spoke, Riddhi beckoned Prince Rav to follow her.
What about my sister? Is she safe?
She will safely return to the palace, Prince. Don't worry about her. Just follow me.
And me? Can I not go back to the palace?
No, you must now live in this forest. This forest will be your home. Hearing Riddhi, Prince Rav was shocked. He looked around carefully and was even more startled. The wild animals stood frozen like stones. Trees were walking and talking.
Welcome, Prince. Welcome, Prince. How is that possible? The animals are frozen, the trees walk, and instead of water, fearless flow in the river.
Ha 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 ha. That is the special nature of the strange forest. Riddhi led Prince Rav to a palace. From here, you must go alone, Prince. Saying this, Riddhi turned into a tree. Prince Rav entered the palace. There on the throne sat two beings who were half human and half tree.
Come in, Prince. Welcome. You have returned home after many years. What? What are you saying? I don't understand anything.
You were deceitfully taken away from us. You are our prince, the true prince of this forest.
What? But how is that possible? I am human. I do not look like you.
Yes, you are the son of Krishna Singh, but we chose you at the birth to be the heir of our forest kingdom.
We sent a troop of trees to bring you from the palace, but Krishna Singh army attacked them and took you back before your coronation.
Since then our only aim has been to bring you back. Prince Rav was astonished to hear this and now understood why he had been kept away from the forest.
But why me? What is in me that made you choose me? Ha 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 ha. Because you born on a full moon night when all the planets were aligned. You are no ordinary person, but a wondrous protector. Wherever you rule, no one can conquer that realm.
That is why we decided you would be the king of our forest. We had no heirs of our own. Now, Prince Rav understood the forest king and queen's attentions. He also realized that if he wanted to get out of this strange forest safely, force would not help cutting wood.
Wow, I am delighted to hear this. I like this forest already. I will be its king. What? There is no coronation ready? No, no. We will make the preparation immediately. Rest for a while. No, don't want to rest. I want a golden crown brought to me as soon as possible.
Yes, take charge of your kingdom and prepare for war.
War? But why? And with whom? If you leave everyone and become the forest ruler, your parents will surely revolt again. So we must fight them. Oh, understand. Then we must prepare. Call all the skilled warriors of the palace here and gather all necessary weapons I want to see what we have that will help us bind.
Following the prince's order, the forest king summoned his soldiers. They were soldiers of trees. Their weapons were also made of branches and grass.
Well done, soldiers. Place all your weapons in one spot.
Obeying the prince, the soldiers put their wooden weapons together. Prince Rao took advantage of the moment. With a matchstick, he stuck a spark to one weapon because the wood was dry. One by one, the weapons caught fire quickly.
What have you done? You betrayed us. That is not betrayal, Your Majesty. A betrayal is when you lure a child away and force him to be your kingdom's king. I have only ended your greed.
Seeing this, the king and others were stunned. The king ordered his soldiers to seize the prince. But Prince Rao held up a burning stick and declared,
Whoever feels like fighting me can come forward. I will warn him to essay like these weapons.
Hearing this threat, the soldiers panicked and retreated, clearing the path for the prince to leave. Prince Rao returned to his palace in triumph. There he found that Indu had already safely reached the palace and had told the king, queen, everything.
Indu, are you alright? I was so worried about you.
Brother, I am absolutely fine. But you returned. I was very worried about what condition you might be in. Are you okay?
I am fine, Indu. Now, no one needs to worry. That strange forest holds no danger for anyone anymore.
Everyone was amazed by Prince's words.
But how could this possible, my son?
When the king asked, Prince Raf told them everything that happened in the forest.
You took such a hug risk, which was not right. What if something had happened to you?
At this, Prince Raf smiled and said,
How could be anything have happened to me, father? I am a protector. Remember, they themselves gave me the chance to defeat them. Otherwise, I was sitting far away here in the palace. Ha 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 ha. Seeing your bravery, I can say with full confidence that you truly were destined to be a protector. Yes, father, absolutely. But now we must carefully take one very important step. And what is that, my son? That mysterious forest is still dangerous. So we must close all the paths leading to it so that no one ever goes there by mistake. You are absolutely right, my son. Well spread word across the entire kingdom and close off every road to that forest, so no one ever falls into its trap again.
after that, everyone celebrated Prince Raf's bravery and honored him with great respect. A few days later, he was officially crowned as the new king of the realm. And thus, the story of the mysterious forest came to end forever. And friends, the lesson we learn from the story is that no matter what happens, we should always act with courage, no difficulty to greet with bravery and wisdom. We can face and overcome any danger that comes our way.